combined leverage. Sales. One lakh, 1,20,000, 80,000. Plus 20% here, minus 20%. What is the current EPS? 1.5, 2.5. That would be 0.5. So eventually, we must study the impact of sales on EPS. The reason is, shareholders are the owners of the company. They are always concerned with the EPS because the dividend payment to be made by the company depends on its EPS. So higher the EPS, higher would be the dividend per share. So higher the EPS, higher would be the value of a share. That's why the objective of company is the maximization of EPS. This is what we call as profit maximization objective. See, now when sales increases by 20%, EPS increases by 66.67%. When sales go down by 20%, EPS decreases by 66.67%. So, to know the interrelationship between sales and EPS, we use the concept of combined leverage. Combined leverage combines the effect of operating and financial leverage. So, it studies relationship between sales and EPS. This is point 1. Point 2. It is measure of total risk. Operating leverage is a measure of business risk. Financial leverage is a measure of financial risk. Since it combines both, it is a measure of total risk. It combines that consists of both business risk as well as financial risk. Damages due to fixed cost and fixed financial commitments of the company. So fourth one, suppose combined leverage is equal to 2. It means for every 1% change in sales, the company's EPS would change by 2%, either increase or decrease. So there has been disproportionate change between sales and EPS. That is mainly because of fixed cost in cost structure, fixed financial commitments in the cost structure. So these two commitments, fixed cost and financial commitments, were not affected by change in revenue. Your revenue may go up or may go down. Fixed cost is constant, interest is constant, as the both components are remains a constant, so you may experience additional return to the shareholders, you may experience lesser return to the shareholders. So if you experience more return to the shareholders, then you may get disproportionate change in EPS. That's why the increase in EPS will be more than the increase in sales. In case your sales are worsen and get down, that case you may experience decrease in the sales will be less than decrease in the EPS. In other words, our EPS, decrease in EPS will be higher than decrease in sales. That's why every company or every business entity eventually will see its impact of sales on shareholders' profit. So to study that, a concept called combined leverage will be used. So combined leverage is equal to operating leverage into financial leverage. So what is the operating leverage here? 2. What is the financial leverage here? So put together 3.33%, or change in EPS divided by change in sales, or contribution by EBT. You can use any of the formula, so eventually the output will be the same. Now, combined leverage, sales, EPS are interconnected. If you know the combined leverage, if you know sales, you can find EPS. If you know sales, if you know EPS, you can find combined leverage. If you know EPS, if you know combined leverage, you can find sales. Like that, out of 3, if you know any 2 components, the third component can be computed with ease. Similarly, now you have combined leverage 3.33 times. You are saying that your sales will go up by 50%. Then you want to know the EPS of the company. In the next year, your sales will go up by 50%. Then what would be the EPS of the company? In that case, sales EPS on 1%. What is the present EPS now? The present EPS was 1.5. 1%, 3.33%. So for 50%, 50 into 3.333, 166.67%. If sales up by 50%, the EPS would increase by 166.67% from the present level. Let us, your present EPS 1.5, on that you will get 166.67% appreciation. That is 2.5. That case, your revised EPS would be 4 rupees. Revised EPS would be 4 rupees. This is case 1. Combined leverage 3.33. And you want to get EPS of 3 rupees. Now you want to know the sales level required to get EPS of 3. Write down. So combined leverage tells you the relationship between sales and EPS. 1% change in sales leads to 3.33% change in EPS. Now, present EPS how much? 1.5. If you want to make it 3, your EPS should be doubled. 3 minus 1.5 divided by 1.5 into 100. Now you want to know the change in sales. Therefore, change in sales. Change in sales means you want to increase the EPS. In that case, you want to increase your sales. 33.33%. 100 divided by 33. 100 divided by 3.3. What is the present sales? 1 lakh. If the present sales increases by 33.33%, that is 33,333, at total sales of 1,33,333, your EPS would be 1.5. So like that, with the help of combined leverage, we can forecast the desired sales, we can forecast the desired EPS. Now, I want to summarize the entire information. Sales EBIT, sales EBIT, EPS. So if you want to know the relationship between sales and EBIT, you have to use operating leverage. If you want to know the interrelationship between EBIT and EPS, you must use financial leverage. If you want to know the interrelationship between sales and EPS, you must use combined leverage. That is, for every 1% change in sales, what would be the corresponding change in EBIT? For every 1% change in EBIT, what is the corresponding change in EPS? Similarly, for every 1% change in sales, what would be the corresponding change in EPS? You always find that there will be disproportionate change between sales and EBIT. That is because of fixed cost. You always find that there will be disproportionate change between EBIT and EPS. That is because of interest. Similarly, you can find there would be some disproportionate change between sales and EPS because of fixed cost and interest in the cost structure. Now, I want to summarize the formulas here. If you want to find the operating leverage, what is the formula? Contribution by EBIT. So this formula must be applied when we have income statement for 1 year. So second formula, change in EBIT divided by change in sales. If you want to apply this formula and you want to know the operating leverage, you must know EBIT at 2 levels. If you don't have 2 levels, then the change cannot be computed. Such a case, operating leverage cannot be calculated. So this is formula 1. What is the formula 2? Financial leverage is equal to EBIT by EBT or change in EPS, EBT, EAT divided by change in EBIT. This is formula number 2. Third one, combined leverage is equal to contribution by EBIT. Contribution by EBIT. No. Contribution by EBIT or operating leverage into financial leverage or change in EPS, PAT, EBIT divided by change in sales. What is the formula for combined leverage? Operating leverage into financial leverage. What is the formula for operating leverage? Contribution by EBIT into what is the formula for financial leverage? EBIT by EBIT. Just cancel this. Finally, you have a problem. Derivation of contribution by EBIT. That's all. So now start our discussion with problems. A firm's details are as under: sales 24 lakhs, variable cost 50%, fixed cost 10 lakhs. It has borrowed 10 lakhs at the rate of 10% per annum, and the equity share capital is 10 lakhs. So we are required to find operating leverage, financial leverage, combined leverage. So 3 points are there. Fourth point, return on investment. So this is new one. And finally, if sales increases by 6 lakhs, and what will be the new EBIT? How many questions are there? 5. To calculate leverages, we need income statement. But income statement was not given. That's why we should prepare income statement first, then these computations can be done. So I will record here problem number 1. Tell me, sales. Fixed cost 10 lakhs. So sales minus variable cost, contribution minus fixed cost, EBIT. How much? 2 lakhs. Less interest. They have borrowed 10 lakhs at the rate of 10%. There is no tax here. In that case, EAT, EBT, earnings to equity shareholders is one and the same. So this form part of working income statement. It is essential to find leverages. That's why this information is summarized here. So I want to calculate the leverages. I think A, B, C. A, operating leverage. What is the formula? Contribution by EBIT. What is the contribution here? 12 lakhs. What is EBIT here? 2 lakhs. This is 6 times. Financial leverage. EBIT by EBT. What is the EBIT here? 2 lakhs. What is the EBT here? 1 lakh, 2 times. Combined leverage. Contribution by EBT. 12 lakhs by 12 times. D point. Return on investment. Return on investment. This is also known as ROI. See, my dear friends, equity shareholders has contributed 10 lakhs. Lenders had contributed 10 lakhs. So you had 20 lakhs investment in assets, both fixed as well as working capital. So this 20 lakhs assets generates 24 lakhs revenue. Out of that, 2 lakhs profit is available to finances. EBIT, earnings before interest and tax. So EBIT is nothing but reward to investment. So you got 12 lakhs, you got 2 lakhs profit on your investment. So these 2 lakhs will be distributed in pieces to various stakeholders. See, in 2 lakhs, some part is paid as interest, some part is paid as tax, some part is paid as preference dividend. If any balance is left, that was available to equity shareholders. Like that, EBIT is the reward for an investment. That's why return on investment is equal to EBIT divided by capital employed. Employed means invested in. You are invested. So you got 2 lakhs profit from 20 lakhs investment. What is the rate here? 10%. You are getting 10% return on your total investment. This is about point number D. Point number E. They want to calculate new EBIT. That means incremental EBIT. EBIT means incremental EBIT. Now tell me, when to find new EBIT? If sales increases by 6 lakhs from present level. You can find new EBIT by 2 alternatives. One is by preparing the income statement, by taking total sales, total variable cost, total contribution minus fixed cost, like that, or at present your revenue was 24 lakhs. If sales gone up by 6 lakhs, means you are expecting 25% increase in sales. You know that operating leverage tells you the relationship. now it is saying that 1% change in sales leads to 6% change in EBIT. If your sales changes by 25%, your EBIT will increase by 25 into 6, that is 150%. What is the present EBIT? 2 lakhs. On that 150%. 25 into 6. 2 lakhs into 150%. 3 lakhs. You can also check this. Sales 24 plus 6, 30 lakhs, less variable cost 50%, 15 lakhs. Your contribution would be 15 lakhs, less fixed cost 10 lakhs. Your total EBIT 5 lakhs. Out of 5, you are already earning 2 lakhs. What is the new EBIT? This is revised EBIT less existing EBIT. How much? 2 lakhs. So 3 lakhs is the new EBIT from new sales. New EBIT from new sales. That's all. Next, problem number 2. You are given the following information of 5 terms of the same industry. Name of the firm, change in revenue, change in operating income, change in EPS. Change in revenue means change in sales. Change in operating income means operating income is also known as EBIT. Change in EPS. So we got 3 points. Sales, change in sales, EBIT, EPS. For 5 forms were given. So you are required to calculate degree of operating leverage, degree of combined leverage. So what is the formula to get operating leverage? Contribution by EBIT. But we don't have direct contribution in EBIT. That's why formula number 1 is not applicable. What is the second formula here? Change in EBIT divided by change in sales. We have change in EBIT, we have change in sales. By correlating these two, you can get operating leverage. Similarly, by correlating the EPS and sales, you can get the combined leverage. Degree of operating leverage is equal to change in EBIT divided by change in sales. How many forms are there? 5. MN, M, N, P, Q, R. Change in operating 26 divided by 28. N. 34 divided by 27. 38 divided by 25. 43 divided by 23. 40 divided by 25. Zero point 93. I am rounding up this. 34 divided by 27. 1.26. 1.52. 1.87. 1.6. Degree of combined leverage is equal to contribution by EBT. That formula was not applicable, so there is no alternative. Change in EPS by change in shares. $30 to $28. $26, $27. $23, $25. $27, $23. $28, $25. Just calculation part here. 32 divided by 28. That was 1.14. 26 divided by 27. 0.96. 23 divided by 25. 0.92. 27 divided by 23. 1.17. 28 divided by 25. 1.12. So this is about problem number 2. Problem number 3. So problem number 3. X Corporation has estimated that for a new product its break-even point is 20,000 units. If the item is sold for 14, the cost accounting department has currently identified variable cost of 9 per unit. Calculate degree of operating leverage for sales volume of 25,000, 30,000 respectively. Break-even point is equal to 20,000 units. Selling price per unit is equal to 14. Variable cost per unit is equal to 9. DOL is equal to 1. So this is the information. DOL is equal to contribution by EBIT. So sales minus variable cost is the contribution, minus fixed cost is the EBIT. So to compute DOL, Fixed cost should be given in the question, but the fixed cost was not given. Then, such a case, how to find degree of operating leverage? So 25,000 units, 30,000 units. Sales 25,000 into 14, 350. 30,000 into 14, 4,20,000. Less variable cost, 25,000 comma 30,000 comma into 9, 2,25,000. 30 into 9, 2,70,000. Contribution 1,50,000. 350 minus 225, 1,25,000. Less fixed cost. Not. Then EBIT. Operating leverage is equal to contribution by EBIT. So now what is the missing here? Fixed cost. How to find fixed cost? This information was used, this has to be calculated. Break even point. So you know that at break even point, a profit or loss of a firm is equal to 0. You don't make profit or you don't suffer loss. At 20,000 units, our profit is equal to 0. In other words, our contribution is sufficient to pay fixed cost. In that case, EBIT becomes 0. At break-even point, our profit would be 0, or our contribution is just sufficient to pay fixed cost. Now tell me, what is the contribution per unit now? Out of 14, 9 is the variable cost. So you would get a contribution of 5 per unit. What is the break even here? Break even point, quantity, 20,000 units. This break even point tells you, if you are able to produce 20,000 units, the contribution out of 20,000 units is just sufficient to pay our fixed cost. That means contribution at the rate 20,000 units is equal to fixed cost. So this 1 lakh. Or if you are already aware of marginal costing, you know that break-even point is equal to fixed cost by contribution per unit. This is the formula to find break-even units. So you know the break-even point, you know the contribution per unit. Now you want to know the fixed cost. Fixed cost is equal to break-even into contribution per unit. 20,000 into 5. 1 lakh. That's all. Deduct this. 25,000, 50,000. 125 by 25. 5 times. 3 times. It's a past examination problem asked once in the final exam. So that case, the only important thing here, if you don't have fixed cost, how to find fixed cost with the available information. So before going to this concept, you should know what is margin of safety. See, any business organization is looking to cross its break-even point. Once it crosses the break-even point, it enters into the profit zone. This profit will come from sales in excess of break-even sales. Let us assume your break-even point was 20,000 units. The total contribution out of 20,000 units was sufficient to pay our fixed cost. When you are able to sell more quantity than 20,000, say 25,000. 25,000 minus 20,000, this excess 5,000 units were known as margin of safety sales. So how to find margin of safety sales? Margin of safety sales is equal to total sales minus break-even sales. Total sales minus break-even sales. Let us assume, I will give you a small example. Sales 20,000 units into 10, 2 lakhs. Variable cost 20,000 into 5, 1 lakh. Now your contribution was 1 lakh. So this contribution is just sufficient to pay your fixed cost. In that case, your EBIT becomes 0. So 20,000 is the break-even level. So if you want to operate at no profit, no loss level, you must produce and sell 20,000 units. Now, in the next year, you are expected to sell 25,000 units. In that case, your revenue would be 2,50,000. Your variable cost would be 1,25,000. Your contribution would be 1,25,000. Your profit would be 25,000. Now you are entering into the profit zone. Why you are entering into the profit zone? Because you are crossing the break-even point. So, sales in excess of break-even were called as margin of safety sales. MOS sales is equal to margin of safety sales is equal to total sales minus break-even sales. Here total sales were 2,50,000. What are the break-even sales here? 2 lakhs. Now, this is margin of safety sales. Why it is called as margin of safety? Because this revenue keeps you in the profit side. Now you are getting some margin. All of a sudden, if sales are get down, if sales fell, in that case, you can use this MOS sales to meet your fixed cost commitments. Now, how much profit you got? 25. If you are earning profit means you are getting MOS sales. Profit is nothing but contribution out of margin of safety sales. You check this statement whether it is correct or not. 100, 50, 50. Out of 100 you are getting a contribution of 50%. So out of 50,000 sales, 50% contribution means 25,000. For this 25,000 contribution, there is no incremental fixed cost yet. That's why this additional contribution is turned as profit. In other words, we can also say this thing in simple way. When you are selling 20,000 units, the contribution that we got from those 20,000 units is just sufficient to pay our fixed cost. After that, after selling 20,000 units, we don't have any fixed cost commitment. Any unit expected to be sold after 20,000 units will give you some contribution. That contribution is directly converted as profit. That's why contribution out of MOS sales, we call it as profit. Higher the margin of safety sales, lower will be the business risk. Lower the margin of safety sales, higher will be the business risk. See, this business risk was measured by operating leverage. When you have higher operating leverage, that suggests that you are exposed to more business risk. You are exposed to high business risk. When you have less operating leverage, means your business is less affected by external factors. So higher the operating leverage, higher will be the business risk. Lower the operating leverage, lower the business risk. So if you are able to improve your margin of safety sales, that means if you are crossing the break-even point, your business risk automatically come down. In that case, operating leverage will also come down. Therefore, so margin of safety sales as a percentage of total sales is equal to, so we got 50,000 MOS sales out of 2,50,000. This percentage is equal to 20%. So break even sales 80%, MOS sales 20%. So margin of sales is equal to EBIT divided by contribution. So what is our EBIT? You are getting 25,000 EBIT out of 1,25,000. This is equal to 20%. So margin of safety sales can be found by this formula or by this formula, EBIT divided by contribution. So MOS is equal to EBIT by contribution, or this 1,25,000 will be repaid to your fixed cost, and the balance left after payment of fixed cost will be the EBIT. That's why contribution includes EBIT, So that EBIT comes from margin of safety sales. In other words, out of 1,25,000, 80% of our contribution will be paid towards fixed cost. 20% will be your profit. That 20% profit comes from margin of safety sales. Therefore, the total percentage of contribution out of the total percentage of EBIT out of total contribution is equal to margin of safety sales. Margin of safety sales as a percentage is equal to percentage of EBIT in total contribution. So out of total sales, 80% are break even, 20% are MOS. You got profit only from the margin of safety sales. That's why margin of safety sales as a percentage can be easily found by dividing EBIT with contribution. So this is the formula. You know that degree of operating leverage is equal to contribution by EBIT, which is the inverse of MOS. So, or we can also write this as DOL is equal to 1 by margin of safety sales. Why it is written as MOS? 1 by, what is the formula for MOS? EBIT by contribution. If you reverse this, you will get contribution by EBIT. So this is another way to find degree of operating leverage. DOL is equal to 1 by MOS. Now tell me, what are the present sales? 50,000, variable cost 30,000, contribution 20,000. Contribution 20,000, fixed cost 15,000. EBIT is equal to 5,000. MOS is equal to EBIT divided by contribution. 5,000 divided by 20,000. 0.25. DOL is equal to 1 by MOS. Is equal to 4. I want to check this whether it is correct or not. What is the formula for operating leverage equal to contribution by EBIT? What is the contribution here? 20,000. What is the EBIT here? 5,000. Operating leverage equal to 4. This is how operating leverage is ascertained with the help of MOS.